Hi, my name's Betty. I'm a grateful person in recovery. I'm a divine spiritual being living a temporary human experience. And I wanted to make a video because I don't really utilize my YouTube, but I've been on a bunch of podcasts lately. And so I want to start using my YouTube to get my information out there. So I had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening in March of 2019. It transformed my entire life. I went from a drug addicted prostitute on the verge of homelessness to a devout believer in long term recovery. Next week, I'm going to have 4 years clean. My clean date is June 1st, 2019. And yeah, my whole life transformed. One of the things that was really transformative in my this near death like awakening experience was that I was shown my pre-birth planning. I was shown that I had chosen my entire life before I ever came to earth. So some of the things that had happened to me in my life, you could never even fathom a soul picking these things. I was sexually abused as a small child, young adult, adolescent. My parents both committed suicide when I was 23 years old. They had their own addiction that they were dealing with, and they decided that the best way to deal with it to end their suffering was to just not be on earth anymore. I had planned that. I planned my sexual traumas. I planned all the partners that I would have in my life. So I had a very physically abusive boyfriend when I was 18. He broke my arm. I picked him. We picked each other. I picked all my husbands. I've been married a couple times and divorced. I picked, just every partner that I would abuse in my life because I became the abuser at a certain point in my life. I became the perpetrator. I saw the moment that I made all of these decisions as a soul. Now, my human cannot understand why I would pick any of those things because my human just wants happiness and ease. My soul, however, wants to develop and evolve. And so it chose very contrasted experiences. Sometimes when I think about it, I just think heaven must be really boring. I mean, why do we all decide to come here over and over and over again? This is the roller coaster that we're on. This is the amusement park. And so we pick different life experiences inside the amusement park. So for me in this life, I wanted it to be very contrasted for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm healing this ancestral line that I've been born into. Two, I'm healing the collective consciousness of the planet as well. Because right now we're in the midst of the Great Awakening. This is the most exciting time to be on Earth, so they say. We're in the midst of transformation. We're ascending from a level of third dimensional thinking to fifth dimensional thinking. And what that means is that we're going from an ego-centered way of thinking to a spirit-centered way of thinking. So for me, I'm able to help transmute that energy by having these very dense experiences and being able to heal them now that I've had my spiritual experience, which was also planned. My spiritual awakening was also part of my pre-birth planning. So some of the comfort that I get from understanding the pre-birth plan is that I don't really have to worry about much. The script is already written. All I have to do is read my lines, wait for my acting partners to come in, and trust the director. And for me, Source is that director. There's unlimited film, unlimited budget, unlimited crew. There's really no way to mess it up. And, I have free will, so I can take twists and turns all around my story. But there are major plot points that are already picked out, that there's nothing that I can do to avoid them. So, even with people in my life as well, there's no way that I can mess up having the people that are meant for me come into my life, my lab partners in this school of Earth. Some of the literature that I read that helped me get a grasp on pre-birth planning. After I had my experience, I had no idea what had happened to me. But the books that were for me, they found me. And some of the books that I read was Michael Newton, Journey of Souls. That book made me cry the entire time because every time that I read somebody's experience, it was my own. The same rooms, the same feelings. It was so transformative. And it was a lot of really good information. And I also read all of Robert Schwartz's books as well. and especially your soul's gift, which is he put people back into regression in between lives to find out why people pick very adverse situations in their life. So each chapter of the book has a different adverse situation. So like there's a chapter on abortion and miscarriage, there's a chapter on suicide, mental illness, rape, incest, it's like really dense experiences. In that book, there's also a chapter on pets, which is, yeah, it doesn't really fit into the theme of the book, but it is really cool to see like why and what, these animals that come into our life are about. So, I wanted to make a video. I want to start putting content on this channel. I'd like for it to grow in whatever way. I have a podcast on the Ions videos YouTube. It's called Explore the Extraordinary. And I'm thinking about starting a podcast on this channel as well, just so that I can have more space to like have cool conversations and set time aside in my day to connect with other people. I belong to a lot of different spiritual communities. If you're looking for spiritual community, there's some great established ones on the IONS platform. That's the International Association for Near-Death Studies. You don't have to have had a near-death experience to join the sharing group. Any sort of spiritual experience, or just if you're interested in the subject matter, you're more than welcome to join and listen and contribute in whatever way you feel called to. And then also Spiritual Awakenings International. They have sharing groups as well. So those are two that are kind of established in their organizations, and they have their monthly meetings and they're free. So if you're looking to connect with other people, I'm always in those sharing groups. If you're looking to connect with me, if you're interested in things about recovery, if you found my story and you heard that I, managed my way out of the depths of desperation from heroin addiction, methamphetamine addiction, every sort of addiction. I'm also in recovery from eating disordered behaviors. I have 19 months free of binging and purging, which was a really huge thing in my life. So if you're dealing with any of those sorts of things, I'd love to just share the information that I have about it. And I'll make more videos about it. But if you're looking to connect more personally, I also have like a mentorship program that I'm doing, and you can find the link in my bio, and I'll put it in the liner notes of this video as well. I'm really looking forward to stepping into my spiritual manifestation power of like connecting with all the people that are meant for me. And thank you so much for letting me share. Be wavy.